Is Netflix a buy? I would say no. A lot of people, when they think of Netflix, they think of the incredible growth that Netflix had when it was a DVD subscription company and you would get the DVDs in the mail, and that was growing so rapidly, and it was in competition with Blockbuster and even cable, and to some extent it was a lot cheaper than the other options that were out there. Now, when you think about Netflix as a business today, if you're buying Netflix today, it's not a growth story anymore. In the US, anybody who wants Netflix already has it pretty much. In fact, they lost 2 million subscribers first quarter, and they lost another 1 million subscribers in the second quarter. That's not a growing company. So when you have an issue like that, you still as a business, you have to think about how do you make more money when you're not getting new subscribers and new customers. Well, Netflix thinks, or they're telling potential investors and their current investors what they think is the model towards more profitability. And the two ideas are adding ads to the service and no more password sharing. And I'll tell you why I don't think this is going to work. For one thing, the ads are a bad business model for Netflix, and for two reasons. For one thing, for people who are currently paying Netflix, it doesn't really matter how much you watch. It's still whatever the monthly rate is. So if it's $9.99, you pay that. Even if you watch 1 hour a month, you still pay $9.99 or $15 or whatever it is. But if someone is paying for the advertising model, they're only are paying their really low monthly fee plus any amount of money that Netflix makes from the ads. So if they don't really use Netflix that much, Netflix doesn't really make too much money off that. And so that would really mean that Netflix would have to really get people to actually watch the content. And the problem is, a lot of the content on Netflix really isn't that good. So I have a hard time believing that you would actually generate so much more revenue from ads as a result. And here's another problem that Netflix might not have thought about, and it's a reason why Disney Plus has not joined in. If you offer a cheaper plan than the normal, a cheaper ad-supported plan, some people who are currently paying a lot more money will downgrade and say, well, I'll just pay for the cheaper plan and I'll just accept the ads. But that's not as profitable for Netflix. So those two reasons really make you want to pause when one thinks about ads as being the answer to the current problems. Secondly, password sharing. That's really it seems like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, because these obviously are people who are very, very cheap, so they don't really want to pay for Netflix. Either they have a lot of subscriptions and they don't think it's worth it, and they really are not highly interested in paying for the service. I mean, you might convert some, and I kind of wonder how will Netflix really know if someone is sharing the password? What if someone's using a VPN, for instance? I don't know. It's hard to tell. But I think if you're focusing on the absolute poorest or least interested individuals, and let's face it, if you're willing to pay a lot less to have ads, or you are already just trying to pay zero, you obviously are not really a big Netflix enthusiast, and it seems hard to believe that's a path forward. So to me, the issue of Netflix is almost like a super value stock if the price went down enough, because as long as the price is low enough and they aren't losing too many subscribers, they could make the case that it could eventually be more like a good value stock. But as it stands now, I think that the PE is still around 20, which is quite high for a stock that really isn't doing that well, and the earnings are nothing to really write home about. So it's almost like it's being valued still as a growth stock, even though it isn't really growing anymore, and its best days are probably behind it. If you think about it, Netflix has so many competitors now. When it first started, it was extremely innovative. The idea of streaming House of Cards, when that first came out, it really was impressive, and a lot of even major TV studios were amazed by it. But now you have Paramount, you have HBO, Amazon Prime, Apple Plus. I mean, there really doesn't seem to be any reason why Netflix has a competitive advantage. Especially the shows on Netflix tend to be lower quality in my view. I think most people would agree with that. In fact, most people I think would prefer to watch my YouTube videos and learn about finance compared to watching Netflix shows. But so subscribe, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. And let me know what you think about Netflix.